All right, here we go. Part two. Part two. We ain't got no choice to the matter. Please forgive me. You know, we did what we had to do to try to get things going, but it didn't work out too good. All right, so this is part two. Right? I don't know if I'm on part one or part two. All right, I'm trying to wait for it to catch up to me. All right, is that still part one? It picked up where it left off?
I don't know, because you know I got a new notification from you.
Oh, you did get a new one?
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess this is part two. Now, I seen something pop up, but I don't. Okay, I'm still on the old one. Let me get back. Come on, come on.
I'm trying to get it to where I could share it. It ain't playing with me. There we go.
All right, so we got 5 people in the room. Okay. Much better? Okay, just change the name on the other one to name change. Look how she give me all these directions. Look how she talk to me, man. And she all up in the public. Look how she talking to me. Shabbat shalom to her.
You
Sister
need
Laverne.
production. This is
Shabbat
this
shalom.
is
How are you?
producer.
Well, when we get some qualified people to do the production, then we'll go full force. Rizaya, Shabbat shalom, Rizaya. Then we'll go full force and we'll get it in. Shartakaya, Shabbat shalom. All right, we doing this, y'all. We doing this. May the Most High be pleased with our efforts. Praying that the Most High will guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, his people. To the Rabbah. We were just talking about how important it was that you change your last name, your surname, to match that of your nationality, which is Yisrael. When you hear the name, let's think for a second. This ain't our lesson, but let's think for a second. Now, Turner, Shabbat Shalom. I know it is, baby girl. It's cool. You know I'm only joking. Shamara, Shabbat Shalom. When you hear the name Ching Ling Wing, what's the first thing come to your mind? Some slanty-eyed, light-skinned dude, right? Long, stringy hair, right? It's the first thing you think about, right?
Yeah.
When you hear Tchaikovsky, first thing, some German or Russian, right? Right? Well, when you hear Yisrael, what's the first thing you think about? Most people who don't know the language think of some kind of foreigner. Where do you get that name from? We got to plant it in their minds because more and more we out in the public and they hear that name Yisrael, they begin to think about us. See, crazy. This battery's going dead now.
Oh wow.
That's all right. I can get the charger for that one. But they start to think about us. The more and more we promote who we are and how we do what we do, that name will come out. But see, you got to carry that name in a righteous manner. Don't keep going back and forth to jail, having the judge stand up and say, Mr. Israel, Mrs. Israel, why did you do this to him? You know, we don't want that type of respect.
Right.
We want them to respect us because we're doctors, lawyers, judges. We own our own. We run our own country. We run our own businesses. We're raising our children up to be intellectuals. You understand? We want to be known for Yisrael on that level. We want to make the Most High proud of us. And we don't want to let the king down. And that's the only way we need to do it. So everybody, Adidi, Shalom, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. What we got to do, y'all, is we got to start going out there promoting the name of Yisrael, surnaming ourselves by the name of Yisrael, because that's who we are. That's our name. And as I said on the last video before it was so brutally interrupted, Yisrael is another name of the Creator. And a lot of people don't know that. Yishron is another name of the Creator. They're all names of the Most High, but they're us as a people, Yisrael.
Wait,
Yes, sir.
hold on. My daughter's last name is Bat Yisrael.
Bat Yisrael. Wonderful.
From scratch. You understand what I'm saying?
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
No. Straight out the, day one, August 5th, 97. Straight up. When I came up with the concept that, I'm going to name my firstborn after Israel, I knew that I'm like that cake that's still baking. You understand what I'm saying? I got a lot of play in me. This has been 23 years.
And you're still playing.
I'm still playing. I would never, under no circumstance, do the foolishness and the buffoonery that I sometimes do with the Creator's name attached. And the 95% of the foolishness that these brothers and sisters that have Yisrael on their driver's license, their shirt, their name tag, or whatever else they got going on in the Creator's name or associated with the Creator. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm more so like, you remember my Abba. You never met my grandfather, but I'm more so mad, I'm mad niggerish. You understand what I'm saying? I know that. But the thing I try to keep pure, is my seeds to the best of my ability. You understand what I'm saying? I'm washed. I'm an old washed Hebrew, from 1993. So you might see my Facebook page, you be like, yo, man, this brother promoting the vodka on his page or whatever you see. Because I know my mind is there, but sometimes my spirit, I listen, what I'm saying is I can't put the Creator's name on this foolishness I be having going on sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? People out here making the Creator look ridiculous. Brothers in and out of jail.
And you don't think you are? You're making the Creator look ridiculous right now by the words that you're choosing to speak. You're saying, my life is so foul and so corrupt. That
No, not at all.
That's what you're saying.
No,
You're saying, my life is so foul and corrupt, there's things I do I know are unclean, so I don't want to call myself by the name of the Creator because I don't want nobody to look at it as a reflection of who the Creator is.
But
that's what you're saying.
Listen though, but what you should be doing, being though you know that,
right?
Then you should be, that folly stuff you should be getting out the way because you already know. So like you said, you saying that you don't want to put the Creator name on what you do because you feel as though you're not right as far as in the eyes of the Creator. So now, next step being, I got to make myself right in the eyes of the Creator. And I can't keep doing the stuff that would make me not want to put His name on my name.
But didn't I just say?
And you got how many years in? You just said something like 23, right?
27.
This brother got 2 in, and he just schooled you.
No, I appreciate your schooling, but I'm gonna need everybody that's listening to this to keep that same.
Everybody hear you. They cutting you up too.
I need y'all to keep that same Hebrew energy. I don't want to hear about anybody's name on no daggone welfare papers, getting a handout from the white man. Can't say what they want to say because they working at the Fruit Loop factory, and gotta go to work at 6 o'clock on the Shabbat. That ain't me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm 100% my own guy. You feel what I'm saying?
How you 100% your own guy?
No, sir. Is anything I got subsidized by the white man?
Wait a minute. That's
with a Hebrew name.
That's not what I mean.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
How you 100% your own guy, but you can't walk right before the Creator?
I can't walk to the best of my ability. Tell me right now in front of 8 people where.
8 million people.
8 million.
8 million people.
We on our way.
Tell them what.
Because tell me what. No, tell me
what.
Where I fall short at.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I need it. Cut me first. I will bleed on the floor. I know. Without
exposing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll put it to you like
this.
Put
me on blast, please.
I'll put you on blast by your permission. Had you not given me permission, my mouth is sealed. And even in opening my mouth, I'm going to put it in a manner that most won't fully understand.
Okay. Right. But before you go into that, right? Understand what I first said. I said my firstborn, I gave her Tavana Bat Yisrael. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
From the rip. Because I said, I need a clean slate. Because those first 27 years up until my daughter was born, I was kind of wilding out.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And those 3 years at Beit Hephzibah, you know how we played loose at Beit Hephzibah.
No, I know how you play loose.
What I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. So every time, what I'm saying is, I may falter in the eyes of the Most High.
For 27 years up?
Sometimes I slip.
That's a mental sickness. That ain't I may falter. That ain't no falter. That means you got an issue. Seriously, 27 years is taking you to get it right? Come on, man. When I be talking about our elders who still don't know all this foolishness, they had 30 and 40 years and they still ain't get it right. You fall in that same category. You'll be following after them in the next 10 years. Because you're an elder now.
I ain't
So let me expose you, as you said. For me to expose you.
Expose a
Here it
man.
is.
Expose a
Here it
man
is.
that's his own man.
Here it
But
is.
then tell me the spiritual stuff that I'm doing wrong.
Here it
Right
is.
now, boom, I'm right
You
here.
ready? You ready?
Go ahead, give
You
it
ain't
to
got
me.
to go nowhere
I'm not-
because you my
I'm
brother.
right
I ain't
here.
gonna hurt you.
You don't cut me, but I'm gonna believe.
Your problem
Go ahead, talk to me.
is that you gives in to your desires, your unrighteous desires, willingly.
Okay.
That's as far as I'm gonna take it. I can't say no more. Your issues are the same as a lot of other people's issues. That's the whole purpose of this class today.
Yes.
Your issues are the same as a lot of other people's issues that walk in this way, knowing the truth, but when their desires creep in, something else takes over and they ignore what they know they're supposed to do. We all been through that. I'm thankful that I'm 99% cured of it. I'm so thankful because my desires had me hooked. And I know, bro, you still there. And all I could do is throw you a lifeline and say, yo, come on out, man. Come on out.
Let's be fully transparent.
Go back this way. Yeah.
Come back, bring me
Yeah,
back.
bring me
Right?
back.
Remember Thursday night. Thursday evening. We didn't even make it to the night yet. Right?
I'm listening.
I'm in mania, and I only want to talk about my Thursday nights or my Sunday evenings
That's
on the
right,
Shabbat.
Didi. It's lust, Didi. Go
No,
ahead.
it ain't lust. No.
Say what
Hold
you saying.
on. No. My Thursday nights and my Sunday evenings, I got them baked to a pure perfection of foolishness. Y'all called me and said, Brother Yeshai, we about to crack these books open and do some Hebrew. Listen, I'm parking my Beamer, about to go get my drink in Mania at the only spot that cures premium drinks on Thursday evenings. You understand what I'm saying? And you like, yo, can you make it down here to Hebrew class? What did I tell y'all, brothers? You said, if you're not busy, you feel what I'm saying?
What you said?
I said, no, I'm in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm backing in the parking space, right in front of my spot.
So you wanted me to do something. I actually called you at the right time
Yes.
to turn you away from your
And
shenanigans.
you still went.
And he still
And you still went.
he didn't show up in class, did he?
No, he did not.
Okay, cool. But let me ask you a question.
You think that's cool?
No, it's not cool. But what did the Creator say? Hey, at the end of the week, when you done weed whacked, got 3 lots together for construction, you done built this, I done put 3 sets of stairs in, and I did what I want to do on my own pleasure, on my evening. I said, hey, I made a judgment call, and I hope the Creator is not mad at me. I did not want to learn Hebrew Thursday night. I wanted to have a relaxation drink. Because it's the only time I get because I'm busy all
You're an
day.
alcoholic, huh?
When you ever see me an alcoholic?
Alcoholics need a drink to relax. If you are Hebrew, you don't need a drink to relax. See, that's the problem with our people. A lot of people use that excuse and smoke weed. Oh, I need to relax. I need to calm down. And they smoke that weed, take it to the head, and it mess them up. You, in reverse, when you want to relax, you go out and give in to your desires, or you drinking some liquor. That's crazy.
Now, no. Tell me. I want you to tell you.
What?
Let's be real. He knows I'm not alcoholic.
I know you ain't no alcoholic. In person and in sight. But you got an alcoholic trait. That's why you chose not to come fellowship with your brothers and learn Hebrew, than to go to the bar and drink a sip and look at the booties. That's what you chose
there
to do
you go.
willingly.
There you go.
You chose that willingly. See, with the walk, with the Most High, that walk, you have to take every step you can to be careful that you're walking in the right direction. Every step. I'm not saying you got to be a fiend for this. We didn't do it Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Okay.
So you had Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Sunday night to do whatever you wanted to do. But on Thursday night, when you got that call, and it was right now, it should have been a sign for you. You got the call as you was pulling into the parking lot. And I asked you, if you remember correctly, I specifically asked you, you ain't out there cutting up, are you?
And I wasn't.
But you were.
You was.
But you were.
If you going to go
I specifically asked you that.
This man runs a business 6 days a week,
Right.
12 hours a day.
Right.
Right? Tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., I'm on the road.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You mean Thursday evening at 6 p.m.?
Hey, watch this.
I can't relax.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Royals.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
If I'd have called you Thursday night and said, yo, I got that $10,000 check for you,
Well,
would you have been this?
You know where
You
I'm at.
understand? You see the difference?
Meet me at
Your
TD Bank
desires
and
are
deposit it.
No, you wouldn't. You said, what time you be home? How long it's going to take you to get home? Because that's what you would have did. You see, our desires are in the wrong place. We're chasing after the wrong pleasures.
Yes.
We're seeking the wrong things. Our desire should be in the way of the Almighty. I'm glad you brought this up because, you know, we're talking about you, but in reality, we're talking about
No, we're talking about Israel.
that's
Right.
in the listening audience that's hearing these things. This is a lot of them. This is how they live. They let their desires be overwhelmed with the wrong things. Now, if you had your mind set on righteousness, right, and you was doing righteously, let's say if you were sitting home, chilling, reading a book, reading the scripts, doing anything, watching a movie, and I called you up and said, yo, we get ready to have Hebrew class. You going to be able to make it? More than likely, you say, all right, I'll be over. You got a book for me? But because it was a worldly desire that you was entertaining, you chose to give into the world. One of my things is always this. Why choose flesh and blood over eternity? I always say that. Why choose flesh and blood over eternity? And sometimes that even applies to your flesh and blood. It doesn't always mean an outside entity. Sometimes it means your flesh and blood. You choosing to satisfy and gratify your own flesh over eternity. Knowledge goes wherever you go. Whenever you leave this form of existence, your knowledge that you obtain goes wherever you go. So why waste it? It's eternity.
I feel you. I understand. But what I would like to say, I feel you guys on the spirituality aspect. But another thing, we cannot be Bat Yisrael or Ben Yisrael or whatever. We're taking the Creator's name and be out here not living up to the expectations of a nation. Because when you said Ching Ling and Wing Pong and Warkowski, you know they're building off their name. You understand what I'm saying? Ching Ling, 90% of the time, ain't getting a handout from the government for food stamps or anything like that. They're
No,
doing it from
Ching
hustle.
Ling get a handout when he moved here to this country.
All day long.
For 7 years, they get an abatement, tax abatement.
Okay.
They can open up and they get a grant.
I don't know
Do
anything
they
about
think?
that.
All
But I
I'm
need it to
saying
be
is-
full circle, complete.
Then let's do it, Yeshaya.
That's what we do.
Let's do it. We don't need nothing from nobody. Now go get your name changed and represent because that might be what you need to push you. Since you feel that way, you might need to go get your name changed to keep you away from the shenanigans and the foolishness. That might be what you need. But we're going to keep it moving.
No, let's keep it moving.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, I appreciate you, and I thank the Creator for blessing me in my captivity and not getting me out of here for the foolish things I've done. That's it. Let's move.
I see you in that. Raziah, Shabbat Shalom. Raziah says, read 33, Ezekiel 33, verse 11. And Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All right, we're going to get this, y'all. Let's get somebody dropped off the line. I can't believe somebody going to miss this lesson?
No.
They dropped off the line. They're going to miss this lesson? They must be foolish. Don't nobody want to miss this. Y'all better tune in. Let's go. Go out and share the room, family, so we can get all Israel in here today. 8 million people.
8 minutes.
8 million. All right.
Are you off?
Am I off?
No, you don't.
I can't see.
You got your eyes closed.
My eyes are closed.
Here we go, family. Check this out. Can we get the context of the lesson? Ha trying to rush me. Brother trying to rush me. Yeah, I'm going to give you the context of the lesson. Boy, y'all is just the typing up in here.
Don't let me take you off your school.
Okay. He is showing up to class, and so Prince is utilizing this opportunity to educate him. I know it seems disturbing, but it's allowed. But let's allow the Creator to guide it. I hope it doesn't away you to the hot joint. Okay. I hope it don't sway you to not join. Okay. We're gonna do this, y'all.
Go ahead, let's go.
Here's some very important things that I just remembered in my mind that we as Hebrew Israelites have to begin to do. Can you turn with me, please, to Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, please? Start at verse 1. Yeah, Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter. And now I ain't forgot about you. We get ready to get this in. We get ready to get this in, Nat. You know you my man. We get ready to get this in. This is one of the things that we as Israelites, some of us have never been taught, some of us don't know, but some of us who do know, like myself, we always have a hard time remembering to do what's required of us by the laws of the Almighty. Deuteronomy 6:1. Read it, please.
Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which your Elohim has commanded to teach you, that ye may do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that ye might fear the Elohim, to keep all his statutes and commandments.
So in so many ways, the Most High is saying that this is what he wants us to do so we can learn to fear him. And fear don't mean scared. Oh, I'm scared. Fear means to desire to not let him down, to not upset or hurt or disrespect him like the brother was saying. He fears the Creator too much, so he's not going to put his last name as Israel and embarrass the Creator because the Creator might rub him out. But your fear got to grow to the place where you stop doing all the foolishness. Read on, please.
That thou might fear the Elohim, to keep his statutes and commandments which I command thee. Thou, thy son, and thy son's son, and all the days of thy life, and thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel.
Now you're on verse 4 now, right?
On 3.
You're on 3? Okay, keep reading.
And hear thou, O Israel, observe to do it, that they may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, and that the Elohim of thy fathers hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Shema Yisrael, Yotzer Eloheinu, Yotzer Echad. We are Habta. Go ahead.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy
We are
God
Habta. Go ahead.
with all thine heart,
With
and with
what?
all thy soul,
Wilabika.
and with all thy might.
Go ahead, you got
And
it.
these are the words which I command thee this day.
Now, these are the words that I command thee this day, that thou will learn how to fear the Creator, reverence the Creator, build up your spiritual energy so that you can take on the challenges of the world and not let the Creator down. Read on up.
Shall be in thine heart.
They shall be in thy heart.
And
Now,
thou-
your heart is your mind. The same word for heart is the same word for mind. That word is loud. Loud. Read on, please.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto them children.
And what you supposed to do with them? You're
Teach
supposed
them
to teach them diligently unto your children. Read on.
And thou shalt teach, and thou shalt talk to them. Thou sittest in thine house.
When you sit in your house, you should be talking about them.
And when thou walkest by the way.
When you walking by the way, you should be talking about them.
And when thou liest down.
When you lie it down, you should be dreaming about them.
And when thou rousest up.
And when you get up, you make tefillah early in the morning. You say, thank you, Most High, for waking me up. You keep these words in your spirit always. Read on, let's see.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hands.
And thou shalt be as frontlets between thine eyes.
And they should be as fretlets between thine eyes.
And thou shalt write them unto the posts of thine house.
Thou shalt write them on the doorposts of your house. So when you got a house, the Creator bless you with a home, you should put a mezuzah, is what they call it. A mezuzah, a zikron, a reminder on your door with the commandments in it. Nail it to your doorposts of your house. This way everybody knows a Hebrew, a servant of the Most High that lives in his home. Read on now.
And thou shalt, and thine gates. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee unto the land where he sware unto thy father,
Read on.
Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to keep thee great and godly cities, which thou buildest not. The house is full of the good things.
When you get all these good things, your house filled up now, you down on that land. You're rolling right now. You're doing so much that the Most High has ordained for our people to do. You know, you got these things, you got these cars, you got these houses, you got the land, you got the food coming up. What we do, a lot of us, even us who still live here in the city, we go out every day and work hard to get that money so we can come home and buy good things. But after we acquire all these good things, we forget the Most High. What do I mean, we forget the Most High? After your pockets are full and your food is on the table and you already eaten and you ate it up, once you get accustomed to these things, they become ordinary, regular things to you now. There's no excitement or no joy no more. You take it for granted. Read on out and see what he says.
And the house is full of all good things which thou fillest not, and wells dig, which thou diggest not,
Uh-huh.
vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not, and thou shalt have eaten and be full.
Uh-huh.
Then beware lest thou forget the Elohim, which
Now,
brought thee forth out of the
What he
land
say?
of Egypt.
What he say? What he say?
said,
What he
then
say?
beware lest thou
Once-
forget the
once you-
Elohim.
Then beware, unless you forget the Most High. I gotta get that charger because this phone died. We in trouble.
Reproduction.
Here you go, the pre-production.
Reproduction.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, you know.
I hear you.
You should have been in class with us. Getting into the brew. You talking about them premium drinks. Yeah.
I'm reading this.
Yeah, I know you read this there.
No, to the brother that spells week.
Mm.
Every week is W.
And what we do often is that when we sit down and eat our food, we get up from the table, and most of us don't thank the Most High for the food we just had. That's something that we have to learn that we should do. So many of us don't do it. There's so many of us that do not thank the Most High once we have consumed all the food that He had for us to consume. Same thing with us in our lives. Same thing. We get the benefit of life, all the good things, all the things that we do in life. Or we fill our houses. I mean, I wish I could turn that camera around and show you all the water I got sitting over here, empty water bottles sitting over there. House full of leather furniture, hardwood floors, sanctuary, granite countertops, stainless steel refrigerators. All this luxury stuff. I hit the light switch, the switch comes on. The electric is flowing. I turn the water on, water comes out. We get all that accumulation. And then we forget to say thank you to the one who gave it all. The one who has provided us. It's almost no situation that you can be in that you don't say thank you, Creator. Almost no situation should it be a time when you cannot say thank you, Creator. And if you're in a situation or a time when you can't do that, you know that that situation shouldn't be where you are. Just that simple. That's how you walk in your integrity. As a man, as a woman, as a servant of the Most High, that's how you walk in your integrity. Okay. So what I'm saying, family, in a nutshell is, one of the things that we forget to do, many of us make prayer to thank the Creator for our food or ask Him for protection or blessing. We call it grace before we eat our food. But once we finish our food and we're filled up, very few of us thank the Creator afterwards. The book says that once you've eaten and you are full, that you should thank the Creator, and we don't do it. We've learned the opposite way. We thank Him before we eat. And then when we filled up, we full, we just get up and leave. But the proper method would also be to thank Him after you eat. And just let Him know. You should get in the habit of thanking the Most High for everything. You know? When you get up 5 o'clock in the morning, thank the Most High for waking you up. Say a little prayer. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of the day, thank the Most High. Before you go to bed at night, thank the Most High.
Okay.
Give Him His praise. All throughout the day, some of y'all might see me and you'll see my lips moving, but you don't hear nothing coming out. That's me, under my breath, thanking the Most High. Praising the Most High. I programmed myself to do that so that I never, never forget to praise this King.
Okay.
Do that all the time. These are just habits that you as a righteous individual or someone striving for righteousness and perfection can hold on to these type of behaviors, these type of traits, these type of characteristics. All right? There was something else that I wanted to mention to us today. Oh, the other thing was this. Now, this message right here is only going to be for certain people who have a certain type of spirit. Okay? In the scriptures, the Father teaches us that we are to bathe before making prayer, before approaching Him.
Okay.
Now, I haven't seen in the scripture where everybody wash their hands and their feet. It don't necessarily say you have to take a full bath, but it does say your hands and your feet. I haven't seen in the scriptures where everybody's done it, but the elect of the crew, as my brother pointed out to me, was required to do it before they approached the Most High. And I believe we find that in the book of Exodus, the 32nd chapter. So we're in the Exodus, the 32nd chapter. I think it's around verse 30. I think it is. But you can go there. I know it's in the 32nd or the 34th chapter, for sure. But he said, before Moshe, Aharon, and the other priests would approach the Most High, they would go unto the front, and it was a basin where they would wash their hands, they would wash their feet, and then they would approach unto the Most High. See, we haven't been taught how to approach this king. So we stepping fresh out of Christianity, and we're bringing those Christian traditions with us, and we thinking that's right. Because through Christianity, they introduced us to the doorstep of the Most High. The doorstep. A form of worship and reverence in something and someone, but it was the wrong power. So we have to learn how to walk and right before the Most High. We got to begin to be taught how to serve this king, because we've been through 1,400 years of oppression. That's how long we've been held down. Our minds have been removed from us, and we don't know how to return to the Most High for the most part. Many of us. So it's little things like this that when you get a teacher, he speaks to you, he speaks to your soul. If your soul don't catch it, then don't do it. But if you hear it and your soul catches it, then that means it's meant for you to be doing. I'm not going to hold you accountable. Who am I? I'm just a messenger. The rest of it is up to you. All right? Sid Johnson, Shabbat Shalom. Let's go, family. Let's go. Now you see yourself doing things. Go ahead, girl. And stopping when he is doing it and giving thanks. Most High be praised forever and forever. All right. She used to think I was crazy when she see me mumbling under my breath. She was a married crazy man. Until she understood what it was about. Here you go, Nat. This for you, bro. All right, family. The lesson for today. The lesson for today is this. Before I go to the lesson, I want to touch on my wife's comment. Muslims, we did it. As a Muslim, we did it all the time growing up. And once I left, I didn't do it. And I didn't start again. But it does make you feel cleaner going up to the Most High. Let me explain this to you. This was given to the Hebrews to do, not the Muslims. We were commanded to do these things, but yet, like I said, we 1,400 years away from our culture, washing your hands, washing your feet before you approach the Most High has been removed from our minds. It's been retained in the Islamic culture. Ya Lion, Shabbat Shalom. It's been retained in their culture. So now we Hebrews, we look at the Muslims and say, man, y'all crazy, man. What y'all doing over there making wudu, all that old stuff before you make salat? Yo, you out of order. That's crazy. Y'all crazy. But that is our culture. That is what the Most High gave to us to do.
Okay.
They kept it. They never lost it. We so far removed from who we were, it's because they didn't go into captivity. We did. They didn't get knocked upside their head with billy clubs and hung from trees and their throat cut and their genitals castrated. That didn't happen to them. It happened to us. And it caused us to forget. But now you got a brother teaching you that this is what the Most High requires of you. You should gravitate back in that direction. Get your mind back. All right? But it ain't what I'm saying. Read the scriptures for yourself. And the scriptures will tell you what you're required to do, not just Prince. A lot of people ain't going to take you on this level because they don't want to do it. But I do it. I take that time to get up every day. My wife called me, it's time to make prayer. Hold on, baby, I got to take care of what I got to take care of, get myself right before I go before the Almighty. Because I felt that in my spirit. So I got to do what I got to do. You follow me? I'm not saying you got to do it, because you just might be making prayer. I'm not making prayer. I'm going before the presence of the Creator. There's a difference. You understand? There's a big difference. You could go before the presence of the Creator too, but you got to do what you got to do to make yourself acceptable to this King. And don't just take it upon yourself that I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. You all on your menstrual cycle, and you making prayer before the Almighty. No, you don't make prayer before the Creator when you're unclean because you're in your need out. If your menstrual cycle is time for that, you don't make prayer during that time because you're unclean. And if you're unclean, you shouldn't approach into the Most High King. If you got a venereal disease and you got an outbreak during that time, you should not approach the Most High because you're unclean. All these things you'll find in the book of Leviticus, the 15th chapter, I believe it is. All through the 15th chapter, it talks about being unclean for venereal diseases and how you're unclean till the sun go down. In most instances, you have to bathe yourself. Even if you touch somebody with those issues, you have to bathe yourself, and then you become unclean when the sun goes down. If a man has sex with his intercourse with his wife, he ejaculates, and the ejaculation gets on her, and it comes out of him. Anything it gets on is unclean. The bed, the sheets, the woman, the man, they're all unclean. And nobody should approach the Most High when they're unclean. So you have to bathe yourself and be unclean to the evening. But we're going to get on. All right?
I got a question.
You got a question?
Who in our captivity is perpetually unclean?
Everybody.
I mean, no, I said not. Who's clean to be able to finally come before the Creator, like the priesthood did?
Everybody. Because the Most High says he doesn't require sacrifices of lamb and those other things any longer. He requires meditation and prayer and supplications of your lips through your actions and your deeds. These are the things that the Most High has prepared for us. And if the Most High says in the book of Deuteronomy that if we bethink ourselves in the land of our captivity and do his commands, then he'll turn this curse from us. So if we accept the fact that everybody's perpetually unclean and we don't make any strides to be right before the Almighty, then how would Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, fall into play? It wouldn't. It couldn't happen. So we have to make every attempt to be right and clean and acceptable before the Almighty. Let's say, for example, a lot of us is unclean by reason of the dead body. In fact, most of us are. At one time or another, we entered a house with an unclean person in. They died in. Somebody died in the house, made the house unclean. We might have went to a funeral and walked on the cemetery or the grave. All these things make you unclean. We may kiss the dead bodies. I remember I used to kiss my homies when my man passes away. We was just that cool. And that was the way I got down. I kissed the dead body before we left him and put him in the grave. And we stepped off. Until I came and understood that it was an abomination before the Most High to do so. So what do? I have to go before the Almighty, make prayer, fast, and ask the Most High for forgiveness. And don't repeat my steps again. Same advice I give to a woman who just came into this way of life. But yet, before she came into this way of life, she was very promiscuous. She gave herself to a lot of men. She did a whole lot of things. She might have been dancing. She might have been tricking. She might have been smoking crack. She could have been doing anything. But once you come into the knowledge of who you are as a servant of this King, you make prayer, you fast, and you ask him for forgiveness. You give it up, you walk away, and you never look back at it again. You find that in the book of Ezekiel, the 18th chapter. Somewhere around verse 20, 21, 22. How the Most High says, no matter what the sin was that a man has committed, if the man comes and confesses his sin and never repeat his steps again, then the Most High shall forgive you of your sin, and as if you have never sinned. Yeah. But if a righteous man who lived 30, 40 years, perfect in all of his ways, and began to do evil before the Creator, it's as if he's never done righteousness. So the Most High gave us a way because he understood the captivity that we were in and what we would be going through. He gave us a way to make it right. It's up to us to take advantage of that and make it right.
Okay.
We use this uncleanness thing as an excuse. Oh, we in our enemy's land. We can't keep the Shabbat because we're in the land of our enemy. That's against the law.
Who said that?
A lot of people.
Okay.
That's an excuse.
I heard that too.
We have to do everything in our power to serve this king, especially in today's time like today's time is.
Okay.
Because it's horrible out here today. Believe me. We still ain't get on the lesson yet.
Get
We
on
like
the
an
lesson.
hour. We like what? 60 minutes in. Well, we're going to get on the lesson.
Yeah.
These things that we touched on were very important, though. Shabbat Shalom, Yakara. Shabbat Shalom, sis. Ben Yehowadah, Shabbat Shalom. Nathaniel, Shabbat Shalom. Razia, Shabbat Shalom. And Ray Matan, Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be with you all. That's my family right there, boy. We great get it in. All right, today's lesson is, who and what are you? Woman! Who and what are you, woman? Where's the real Hebrew woman at today? And I know you think you know how this lesson is going to go, but I promise you, you don't. I know you think you know how this lesson is going to go, but I promise you, you don't. That's right, Sister Roya. The Most High gave us all away. Hebrew woman, where are you today? Where's the real Hebrew woman? Where have you hidden her? Show her to me. We men, we enter into a situation and we learn from the men who had previously been in the situations how to conduct ourselves. Well, this man was taught, if this woman raised up her head in the wrong manner, smack her block till she gets in line. And he taught his son, and he taught his son, and he got down the line to me, and then I taught my son, and so on and so on. All that mental, and after a while you begin to think that your mental is right. Because your father did it, his father did it, his father taught him to do it, and his father before him did it. Now, let's think about that. That's like 10 generations of men smacking and beating on women, right?
Right.
Well, what happens down the line to the women? You see what I'm trying to get at? The women, for the most part, is being destroyed. Something sacred inside of a woman is being destroyed every time a man abuses her or misuses her. So I have to ask the question, Hebrew women, where are you? Or should I put it in a poetic way? Where art thou? I see your flesh, but you are not producing the behavior of a Hebrew woman. You understand what I'm saying to you, family? See, a lot of men, a lot of women, we don't understand the psychological damage that's being done to us. Today, we, as Hebrew men, we demand a woman to submit herself to our will and our authority. But a lot of them can't. Because they've been so mentally beat down for generations. Her mother, her mother's mother, her mother's mother's mother, been beat down for so many generations that now it's embedded in her seed to be dysfunctional. To not have the ability to conduct herself in a virtuous manner. You want to go to sleep somewhere? Go in that corner and go lay there and go to sleep. Get some rest, man. You probably was up partying all night. I don't know.
No.
Go get some rest.
No, I'm good.
I ain't going to force you. The sofa's right over there.
I'm good.
I ain't going to force you out because you fall asleep on me, and then I'm going to go get some water and pour it on you. You go, oh!
I'm good, man.
Maybe he wanted to take the Shabbat today.
He probably did. He can still go in there and lay down. I'm not going to force the brother to be here. But I need you to understand, brothers, that very few women have escaped that type of mental damage, that type of destruction. Very few. When you get one that can really submit herself to the will of a man, then you got something real special. But you have to be a man to earn it. Not a male, a man. Sisters, it's very important the type of man that you marry. Is extremely important because you are required by the laws of the Most High to submit yourself to the will of your husband. The Creator didn't even tell a woman to submit to him. He never told a woman to submit to him. Never. Okay. He emphatically said for the women that he shall rule over you and your desire should be to him. That's how important it is, the man in the role of a woman. So sisters, you got to make sure that the man you marry is worthy of you submitting yourself to his authority. You have to make sure, the best of your ability. A lot of these women today, we get women, and the first thing they do when they see a man, all this boy spoke some scripture. Here you go, here, take it, take it, take it. We don't vet him at all. We don't challenge him at all. We don't test him. And a lot of us don't even go to the Most High to ask the Most High, is this the one? We go off of this feeling that we feel inside, this googly feeling, this mushy feeling that makes us feel like, oh, man, this got to be him. And it's not him. This man will destroy you. And you have no idea, Satan, the adversary, his job is what? To deceive. So that man will be clothed in righteousness, pretending to be a servant of the Almighty. And as I always say, if you go 24 hours with your man and you never see your man make prayer within that 24-hour cycle, run. Because he ain't the one. Run! Because he ain't the one. There's no way that a man that's really going after the Almighty with all of his essence can go a whole 24 hours without bowing down and making tefillah before this king. There's no way. No man in the way of righteousness is going to do that. A faker, Jacob Sneaker, he'll do it. A faker, Jacob Sneaker, he'll do it. He'll go 24 hours, he won't make prayer, and you'll see it, sis, and then you'll know. All right? So I asked the question, Hebrew sisters, where are you? Or where art thou? The reason why I asked the question is because a lot of times that Hebrew woman is so buried, so deep in her subconscious mind because of generations after generations of generations, it's been beat out of them. They've been oppressed for so long. Now, I'm not just dealing with the man today, brother, so you ain't got to be saying, Prince, you sound like a woman, one of them women, you loving them women, you all up on their breasts. None of that matters right now, bro, because I'm not going to allow myself to go down to that level of ignorance. I'm going to deal with the reality and raise your elevation. And if your spirit is telling you something like that about me, that means that your spirit inside of you is resisting the truth. It's resisting the knowledge. And it's causing you to try to have an excuse to continue in your evil behavior. We got to stop abusing our women. And a lot of men don't understand that. All we say is, she got to submit to me. Just the simple fact that I'm her husband. And he's right. Because you're his husband, you have to submit to him. Or you can't serve the Creator. And I mean that. The Most High gave you a command, sister. And that command was to submit yourself to your husband. You shall be his desires. Your desires shall be to him. That means submit yourself to him. Whatever his desires are, your job, your role is to fulfill that mission, nothing else. Right? That's why you got to be careful of the man you marry. Okay. Shabbat shalom, Vernon. You got to be real careful of the man you marry. Yes, bro.
There are no dudes.
There are no what?
There are no guys. There are no Hebrew men. It's 8 Hebrew men out of 200,000.
Speak. I'm listening.
There's no Hebrew men.
Why don't you sit over here so we can hear you?
Okay. Here we go. Right. No Hebrew men. The ones that you said, like you said, you're with a brother, you know, the sister's with a brother for 24 hours. You don't see the man pray. Not a Hebrew man. If you see the brother stealing, robbing, being abusive, not a Hebrew man. There's so much unrighteousness that a woman will just cling to the first little glimpse of righteousness. A brother can know 3 scriptures. You feel what I'm saying? And one of them is Deuteronomy 28. They can read that. Next thing you know, she got that, what you say, that googly eyes or whatever feeling in her inside of her. That's the problem. you got to go all the way back to the Jethro part, where we just construct some men, and these men follow men, and then all the men become men, and then the women grab the men. But right now, there's no men. It's like I gave you that point the other day when I said what I did on Thursday. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't get the part where, I'm a Hebrew man, and I stopped to do my pleasure. You feel what I'm saying? Because during the day, I didn't steal, I didn't rob, I had just measures with every man I dealt with. And I treated my family, I provided for my family. But then that 1-2 hours, I said, I'm going to slide off and do my European mind thing. You feel what I'm saying? That I still have on, that Jesse Smallwood, for those 2 hours. Cool. But what I'm saying is we got Hebrew titles, we got Hebrew names, but we don't have, like it should be no, like you said, woman abuse in Israel. You feel what I'm saying? Because you represent the Most High. And where would you get that one thing I heard about a man abusing a child? If you represent the Most High, how you call yourself a Hebrew man and you abuse the child? And I'm not talking about abuse like, my grandma used to abuse me with a switch. I'm talking about that other abuse. You feel what I'm saying? So before you even get on your thing saying, where are the Hebrew women? Cut them some slack. Bring it all the way back to build this nation. Get these people, get these men together. You feel what I'm saying? You got to start with those 8 I told you about to teach those other 200,000. Then do that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, number one, first thing, we have a European mind. When I say European mind, is deep down inside, we don't believe this book at all.
That's right.
We don't believe this book one little iota. You know what I'm saying? The creator's like, all I want you to do is be a Hebrew man. Just be Hebrew, and I'm going to bless you. But the 144,000 of us, or what did I say, 199,982, you feel what I'm saying, is following JC because they don't believe in this. They don't believe in this walk. And that's what the women got to choose from. You feel what I'm saying? I watch this brother. You know what I'm saying? I might clown around just to check his teaching ability. I might do some but he's always on point. But when you want to catch him slipping. Like he'll look at you and be like, brother, you sleepy.
Yeah.
Chill.
But see, that's why I said I don't agree with that because, like I said, you said where the Hebrew men at. Now, like I said, for instance, Prince is my elder. Right. Now, anybody who know me, since I've been under him, I walk as closely as he walked. Mm-hmm. I walk real close to that.
But as but that's what I'm saying. Is as you're walking with this man,
right?
Watch this man.
But I'm doing what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Hey,
brother, he might throw something in the trash and don't pick it up. He'll teach it like a righteous man. Go back and pick that up. Stop being lazy. You know what I'm saying? The smallest thing. You tighten up, of course. Iron sharpens iron. Steel sharpens steel. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, before we even sit here, next Yom Kippur, let's start talking to the women. But right now, we got to get these brothers in order. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff people joke about me, listen, I don't want for anything. I have no European connects where they take it. My enemy takes care of me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm drinking some water, it's because I paid for it. Ain't no subsidy. It ain't nothing. I can speak my mind. I can do whatever I want to do. And like I said, another 98% of these Hebrew men, some kind of way, if you peel the layers back, their enemy is feeding them. Their enemy is housing them. You feel what I'm saying? And this is where, our females got to pick from. Man, get out of here. You feel what I'm saying? Scram, as I like to say. When these brothers say they can't work. I'm like, man, scram. Get up out of here. You feel what I'm saying? But I digress. I'm going to let you get back to your point, but we got to build the men. You know what I'm saying? We got to have side meetings, closed door meetings to teach these brothers something. Then from here, go from there.
But when we have these meetings, you got to come.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You got to come, though.
I'm saying, Thursdays between 6 and 9. But I'm joking. Back to the lesson. Please get with these brothers. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a Zoom meeting on Facebook since everybody's out of town or nobody's together. That's what we need to do. But please, because I was in a horrible train wreck of a relationship with a Hebrew sister. And when I peeled back the layers, she was with 13 Hebrew bums before me. So she didn't even know what she was looking at.
Didn't even know how to conduct herself.
No, she didn't know what she didn't know.
She didn't know.
Cell phone, car, pay for your housing, your rent, whatever. I don't know what that is. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'd rather chase a Hebrew man that's in and out of jail or whatever. I'm like, whatever she was doing. You feel what I'm saying? She didn't know what she was looking at. It's like when they said when the Spanish came to Mexico, right? The ships came. Yo, the Aztecs never seen ships. So you know what they did? They just looked. They didn't even know what they was looking at. They wasn't preparing for war because they never understood what they was looking at.
Right.
So when you see a Hebrew sister, when they see a brother like me, they don't even know what they looking at.
Yeah,
with all my flaws.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? They don't even know. What this brother got is my name of my company's on my shirt. So you see me, I own me.
Don't mean nothing to it because you look like a bum.
Because I look like a bum.
Because you got dirty
You know what
jeans,
I'm saying?
dirty jeans, and boots on.
Exactly.
And a hat in the
So they
back,
don't- right.
And a scraggly face.
You know, because I ain't the kickboxing champion of Israel. Yo, that's where you go. You talk to one sister, hey, yo, you know how to do Taekwondo? Oh, you know how to do this? You know how to do that? They always want what you don't have. Because they don't know a whole rounded off Hebrew man. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me? You know, this man right here, he owns part of my company. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to get in the business, but that's a man right there. You feel what I'm saying? You see him, you see this house, this is him. You see all these cameras, this is him. You feel what I'm saying? But all these Hebrew, like the brother said, weak with W-E-A-K, they don't own their stuff. They in public housing, they get the check over here, they get the subsidy.
And living off their women.
And living off their women.
Basically.
But Israelite brothers living with their mom got 2 wives. What you talking about? You feel what I'm saying?
But that's the
And that's
kind
what
of
my
men,
daughters got picked
those are
from.
the kind of males that the women are going for.
That's true.
And struggling with them rather than searching out a man
Exactly.
that's befitting of a wife.
So let's get back to let's tune these men up. You know what I'm saying? Leave that JC alone. Believe in yourself. You don't need no daggone white Messiah that they just painted black to save you. You got to save yourself. Like the Creator said, build ye houses. We got land, build ye houses. We got businesses, build ye houses. Take care of your women, take care of your children. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Stop letting your enemies subsidize and take care of your family. You should be embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Dang.
You feel what I'm saying? And don't have your women out here embarrassed.
Right.
You should never see a Bat Yisrael woman signing those documents to get those food stamps.
Okay.
Well, that's my daughter. Bat Yisrael, yo, look, my dad got it. How I'm driving, my dad got it. Then my car acting up, my dad got it. You feel what I'm saying?
Dang.
You feel what I'm saying? Jesse Smallwood got it. You feel what I'm saying? Just don't call me Thursday. You told me 6 to 9. No, I'm joking. But back to the thing, what I'm saying, get your floor, but please leave the women alone. Concentrate on these dudes.
And that means you ain't hearing my message.
No, I know you did, but I'm just saying, I know I know what you're doing.
That means you ain't hearing my message. Bill.
I heard your message.
I gotta get
But I don't even want you to say Hebrew woman no more.
I gotta get on these Hebrew women, man. I got to get on
Now
them.
get off these Hebrew
I
women.
got to get on them. Because they gotta fight.
I tell you what,
They gotta know what to look for.
have your
They gotta know
Esau,
how to walk.
have your Esau, the top 3 Hebrew women I ever met in my life, conduct some classes on what a Hebrew woman is. You feel what I'm saying? Have her do it. You feel what I'm saying? Be like, hey, you got to get a brother like this, or you got to do like this. You got to walk like this.
But who's gonna listen? Because all they looking for is the dudes that look like they're getting it. They ain't got time to sit down in a class and learn how to choose a husband.
Okay.
All right, well, we're gonna talk to her about setting something up.
Yeah, have her do it, because she knows. She's seen it.
All right, that's right, bro.
I'm
You
out.
shouldn't go to a man that has nothing and try to work with him to build something. It don't go that way.
You really don't.
If he has nothing, he's not ready.
Okay.
No man that's ready has nothing.
Okay.
Every man that's ready has something. All right, so here we go. Let's start our readings. We're in the book of Genesis, the 2nd chapter. All I need you to read is the 18th verse. All I need you to read is the 18th verse. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18.
And Elohim said,
What did he say?
It said, it is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him.
Now, read it again,
Go ahead.
because I don't think they heard you.
And Elohim said, it is not good that a man should be alone.
Can you read all louder?
And the Elohim said, it is not good that a man should be alone.
So what are you going to do about it?
I will make him a helpmeet for him.
You're going to make him a help. Before I begin to speak, I would like to take it to the floor. What does a helpmate? Tell me what your understanding of a helpmate is, please. What is a helpmate?
You want to take it for a son?
I mean, I can only go off of my limited knowledge of what a helpmeet would be. But if your man is out, okay, I'm just going by what I've seen a proper Hebrew Hebrew women do. When I was in the land, down at the land, Goshen, and I watched his Isha, she was like, you knew she was there. She was like bringing the water, making sure everything was cool, managing the situation wherever he fell short, you know, checking in on him, making sure he was fed, nourished, you know, things like that. It was like a helper. It just, it wasn't like she was trying to run the house, but she ran the house, the managing of the house. You understand what I'm saying? As he's building and moving stuff around and digging things up and doing whatever we was doing out there, she just made life so easy for us. It was just like we had like just like this, for the lack of a better construct, like she lubricated the process of running the home. You feel what I'm saying? Like it seemed like if she wasn't there, this thing would just come to a grinding halt. You feel what I'm saying? It's like what he needs, like that part that he can't provide. Like why is he out there making vegan chicken sandwiches while he's out there digging up a well or, you know, building an addition to the house or putting a new road in? Do you understand what I'm saying? And not diminishing her responsibilities, but it just made everything like a turbo boost.
Right.
It just made things go so smooth. You know what I'm saying? By the time you thought this man was thirsty, he had something to drink right there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, like a nice ice cold water. He's like, yo, they're right there in the corner right there. I go in there and the stuff all right there. I'm like, this is amazing. This is what a Hebrew sister's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? In that instance. I don't know about anything else, but it just seemed like it made everything better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know back in the beginning, Adam couldn't do it all himself. He needed something to help, you know. You do understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I absolutely understand.
I know I'm long-winded, but it was like a lubricant for a good, well-oiled machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He could be or if he was the engine, she was the transmission.
Right.
Like he could be the most powerful engine in the world, but if you ain't got nothing to make them tires spin,
Right.
you just sitting there, boom, boom, boom. You feel what I'm saying?
Damn.
You just spinning in the wind.
Damn.
So that's where I'd say a help me would be.
Okay.
Not the main thing, but just the thing that makes everything go smooth.
I
Very
can't.
good.
I don't have nothing to say. After
Okay.
that. I think you did. I have nothing else to say.
I'm out.
I think that explains it all.
Good.
Mike King, Shabbat Shalom.
Is that Mike King?
Hazekiel, Shabbat Shalom. The question on the floor was, when the Most High said, it's not good that man should be alone, so he made him a helpmate meet for him. The question was, what is a helpmate? Okay. The question was, what is a helpmate? So my brother got up and he gave this dissertation of what he thought a helpmate was, and he gave a good example. And I appreciate that. But what I want to do is this. I don't want us to limit the ability of that helpmate. See, because a woman, a helpmate of a wife, is supposed to, as my brother Nat Turner said, help him to achieve his vision. And in the process of helping him to achieve his vision, it applies to so many different things in life. If you're a man and you're on a mission, you see where you want to go, but you just don't know how to get there. A good helpmate will help you get there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it is, a good helpmate is not always the one that's going to wash the dishes. sweep the floor, and make you take out the trash, because they know women gonna take out the trash unless she by herself. If you a woman and you taking out the trash and you got a man, you ain't got a man.
Damn.
You got a male.
Dang. Dang.
But a good helpmate is gonna help you to go places that you can't go by yourself. And I say can't go, not that you can't, but it will take you so much longer to excel to that position. Don't think that a helpmate is all about cleaning, cooking, washing dishes and washing dirty clothes and teaching the children. That's not the only responsibility of a good helpmate. Matter of fact, some helpmates, that might not be their responsibility. Because if you got multiple nashim, if you got 2 or 3, that might be one's responsibility, and the other one's responsibility is to help you in the business world. A lot of men forget that their women are spiritual as well, that they have insight, that they can see beyond what the average man can see in a lot of places. But a lot of men like to limit them because they're females and call them the weaker vessel. Hebrew woman, where art thou? Stand up, because it's time. With all the many battles and challenges that we are faced with today, we have to understand that there's a lot of roles that need to be met and filled. And what I say is, the best person for the job is the person that's going to do the job. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're the best person for that job, then that's your job. Because we ain't got time to be making mistakes. We only got time to get it right and to keep it moving. So if my wife, if I see the goal, I'm trying to get that finish line, and my wife has some immaculate brain waves going on in her head, and we lay in the bed, she said, babe, well, what did you ever think about selling this so we can use that money to get that? Because we really don't need this. It wasn't my thought. It was the thought of my helpmate. She's there for that purpose. You understand what I'm saying to you? When a woman is connected to a righteous man, right? The same energy that's coming to you is coming to her because she's yours. She's your property. She's a part of you. So the Most High ain't just dealing with you no more. That's why in the book of Isaiah, the 4th chapter, the 1st verse, it says, in those days, 7 women shall come to one man, saying, let me be called by your name to take away my reproach. Because our ancestors understood that when the energy that the Most High is dealing with that righteous man, everything under that righteous man is receiving that same energy. So is your Isha. And a lot of times the Most High will put something in her mind to get the message to you. That's the job of a helpmate. You know, women and men are not equal. Don't never, ever, 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 ever make that mistake and think that you're equal with a man, because you're not. You know what it is? This is what it is. What I can't do, you can. And what you can do, I can't. I might can cook and clean. You know what I mean? I might can do some of these things that I see you do, but let me tell you something. Let me put in a better example. Me and one of the brothers came here and painted the house the other day. And the house was a wreck. The house is a wreck. I got to explain it, because if I don't explain it, y'all be talking about Prince talking about we love less than a man. No, your roles are just different. You're not equal, but you're not, it's not like you're way under here and he's up here above you. It's not in that level. Your roles are different. You play your role, he play his role. So me and my brother was over here, we paint the house up, cleaned up a little bit, got everything in order, and I'm sitting back like, yeah, I got this thing going good. Where's the rest of that cup at, bro?
This cup came apart.
Yeah, but it's sitting inside the hole. It's brass, that's how they work. So I'm sitting in the house looking all good and clean, you know, I'm chilling. Throw a movie on, I want to watch it. So my wife came. You know, she lives in Goshen, and I'm here in Philly. She came to the house in Philly. Stayed for a good 6 days. Well, one day I go out to work. I come back, damn, it's the same house? I thought I had it mastered. I thought I had this joint looking good until it got that woman's touch. When it got that woman's touch, it made me sit back and say, damn. I had to say it to her. I said, oh, what did you do in here? Things that had never came into my mind, she thought to do. She arranged this. She put this like that. You know, we can take it. A man can only take it to a certain level. But a woman brings that feminine energy, and she just caps it off. That's why it's not good for a man to be alone. Let me give him a helpmate. Why is he giving him a helpmate? To take him to the next level. Can you get that phone away from my juice, please? I don't put that stuff around my stuff I drink. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
That radiation going into my juice, and I don't want that to happen.
Don't drink that.
The purpose of giving her a helpmate is to take him to that next level. A lot of people don't understand that. It's not just to cook, to clean, to wash the dishes, to wash your dirty clothes and your dirty underwear. It's when your intricate mind is working and you're trying to figure out a way to take the family or to bring the house of Israel or to do some great works for the people to another level. She's right there with you. Her mind is functioning and operating at the same time. So when you can't think of something, the Most High gives it to her.
Okay.
Now, as long as she's applying herself to this righteous order. There's a sister in here that I don't want to bring too much noise up on her, but she's on the list here. Royal Zoe, I think her name is. I go on her page and I watch her page. Something special about the young lady. Something special going on with her. Her desires are in that place. Another sister, Shamira, married to my brother, Shar. Their desires are in that place. You know what I'm saying? They know their responsibilities, their roles, and they're really, and this is just my opinion. Don't have to be right, but it's my opinion. They're really thriving to be after the spirit or the likeness of the Almighty to the best of their physical ability. Now, for the one sister I know where she is, she ain't where she's supposed to be, but she gonna get there. Because the energy that's pushing her is powerful. As long as she remains loyal to the Creator and not nothing other, as long as she remains loyal to the Creator, He's gonna take her where she needs to be. And ain't nothing gonna get in her way except her, if she allows it to be. There's a lot of sisters here that's getting it in like that I'm cool with. Just, Ishi, I can't blow you up because you're mine. Then that'll make me look like I'm, so I can't blow you up. You already know what you got going on. That's without question. I'll let somebody else toot your horn, baby girl. Because I can't do it. Because then it'll make it look like I'm being one-sided. Divine Cross, Shabbat Shalom. But the point I'm trying to make here is that when you get to a certain level of understanding and desires before the Creator, your wife is not a slave to the essence of slave, what you think a slave is. She's a servant, but she's a servant on a level where you are a servant. We're all servants to one level or another. And if your mind is in the educated spiritual realm, you understand who she is when you see her, and she doesn't even have to be your wife. Hebrew woman, where art thou? She said, blow me up. I can't blow you up, baby girl. It wouldn't be right. Let's go to Proverbs, the 8th chapter. Some say this is wisdom, but I understand this to be a woman that is talking about. Proverbs, the 8th chapter, the 1st verse. I understand this to be speaking about a woman. Now, what I want you to do, Hebrew woman, is I want you to utilize this to see where you are in your walk. How far from grace have you fallen, Hebrew woman? Let's go out.
8th chapter, 1st verse.
Yeah, what happened to y'all sharing all the lights and so we can get that 8 million peoples in here today? I only see 11, not 8 million. But go ahead, get it in. First verse, 8th chapter, Proverbs.
Does thou not wisdom cry?
Does not wisdom cry? Now, when your woman trying to get something across to you, you ain't paying no mind, don't she sound like she crying? She trying to get her point across? And you ain't, oh, I ain't trying to hear it. Don't sound like she crying? Watch this. Keep on reading now.
And understanding put forth her voice.
She tries to give you some understanding when she speaks with her voice, don't she? Read on.
And standeth in the top high places by the way in the places of the path.
Read on. She get in your way sometime when she wants you to pay attention to her.
And
Read
crieth at the gates.
And she cried at the gate. She get right at the door of the house and start fussing. Read on.
At the entry of the city.
At the entry of the city.
At the coming in of the doors.
At the coming in of the doors.
Unto you, O men, I call.
Unto you. Any woman is going to call out to a real man.
And
Unto you, O man, I call.
And my voice is to the sons of men. O ye simple, understood woman, and ye fools, be ye of understanding heart.
If you don't understand a woman, you're simple. If you can't compromise with her, then you're not of an understanding heart. Any righteous woman that's on a righteous path, it's not going to bring evil and negativity into your life. Sometimes you just got to open up your mind enough to hear what it is that she's trying to say to you, because sometimes she's right. I'm not saying all the time she's right, but sometimes she's right. But if you so busy, well, I'm the man, you ain't going to tell me what to do, you'll never hear the message that you had to learn, because you hardened your mind toward hearing what he calls or she calls wisdom. Read on, please.
Herefore I will speak of excellent things.
I will speak of excellent things.
And the opening of my lips shall be right things.
And the opening of her lips, any righteous woman, the opening of your lips should be right things. Read on.
For my mouth shall speak truth.
And your mouth should only speak truth, Hebrew woman.
And wickedness is an abomination to my lips.
Wickedness to the Hebrew woman should be an abomination. So, sister, you need to check yourself a little bit. Examine your life. How many of these things that we're speaking about apply to you? See, because you've fallen so far that you've stepped outside of your spiritual nature. These things that we speak in, evil should be far from you, far from your lips. And only righteousness and truth should come forward from your mouth. Ask yourself these questions, sis. Am I this woman? Read on, please.
All the words of my mouth are in righteousness.
Are all the words of your mouth in righteousness?
There is nothing forward or perverse in them.
Is there anything forward or perverse coming out of your lips? Righteous Hebrew woman, where art thou? You know where the righteous Hebrew woman is? She's right inside of you. It's just going to take something to ignite her, to get her moving, to get her elevating, to cause her to take precedence in your behavior, to become profound through your actions, to become excellent in the display that she displays to the world. She's right inside of you, sisters. She's 100 years of generation of being beat down, but she's there. And you have to reach inside. You have to want enough for her to come out and demonstrate who she is. You don't have to be what you are today. You don't have to be on Facebook and showing yourself to the world half naked with your booty hanging out, doing them little dances for the world to see. Wearing makeup and the false eyelashes that stick out the there. You see that? And somebody else's hair that's a different color, a different texture, and that really ain't yours. You don't have to portray yourself to the world, because the true Hebrew woman is right there inside of you. You got to fall in love with who you are. And not enough of our sisters fall in love with their true, pure essence. So they pretend to be what they're not. Some of them go to the level of pretending so hard that they go get breast implants and butt implants to pretend to be something that they're not. And who's going to judge me is what they say. The Most High is going to judge you. I plead with you right now, sisters. I plead with you. Because I understand the psychological damage that's been done to you for so many years by so many people. So many different nationalities of people have walked on you, tread on you, beat you down, have destroyed you. They have belittled you. You are so insecure because you don't believe in yourself. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are. You don't know what your abilities and your capabilities are. You don't know because you've lost that knowledge. I'm pleading with you, sisters, return to the Almighty. With everything within you, return to this King. Deny yourself of harlotry. Stop sleeping around like it's a sport.
Okay.
Stop having sex with men that are not your husband.
Okay.
Stop stealing. Stop relying on a system to provide for you and to take care of you.
Okay.
Stop harlotry. Stop being embarrassment. Stop feeling like you got to tell your man, you got to enforce your rules upon your man and make him bend to your will.
Okay.
Let him bend to the will of the Creator.
Okay.
You understand? If you got a problem with him, take him to the Almighty. You just maintain your level of discipline. Stop trying to go back and forth, toe to toe with your husband. It's evil. It's not righteous. A lot of sisters get together and all they do is go out and party to see how many people they can meet to sex.
Okay.
A lot of people get together, a lot of sisters get together and they go out and they steal. They shoplift. They go and sell it. They call it boosting.
Okay.
Sisters, return back to righteousness. A lot of sisters have so little self-esteem within themselves that the first man that they meet, like the brother said, speak a little bit of Hebrew. Oh, that's my husband. I'm giving myself to him. He's worthy.
Okay.
And he's not. But I understand why you do these things. And it's because you have been destroyed for so long, sisters. A lot of you have been destroyed for so long, you don't understand how valuable you are. What did I say about a helpmate? A helpmate is so valuable to the destiny of our nation. A righteous helpmate. A woman that is there for the purpose of being a helpmate. Not somebody that feel like they're being forced to do what they don't want to do. That's not a helpmate.
Okay.
Oh, I'm stuck in this marriage with this nigga. That's what she gonna call you. I'm stuck in this marriage with this nigga. I don't want to give him nothing. His feet stink. And I don't like him. Yeah, he might pay the bills, but that's it.
Mm.
That is an evil person
Yes.
with evil thoughts, with an unrighteous behavior, and it has nothing to do with the Almighty.
Okay.
Now, if you're in a situation, sis, and you are really in a situation where you are doing your very best to walk righteously before the Creator, you don't have those evil thoughts in your mind, you don't have those perverse behavior, actions, you're not provocative in your dress, you don't expose yourself to the world, you make your prayers like you're supposed to, you fast like you're supposed to, you're really giving up your energy to the Creator like you're supposed to, but yet you trapped with a wicked husband. And the man is evil. Bring him up on charges.
Mm.
Bring him before the leadership.
Okay.
Bring him before the leadership.
Who's the leadership?
And expose him of his evil. And if he's truly evil, then your leadership, being a righteous leadership, should deal with that problem. If he's not evil and you're the one with the issue, then some judgment needs to be cast on you.
Okay.
And then you must be dealt with. But you, just like you was willing to have him to abide by that ruling, so must you submit yourself to that ruling. Read on, please. What was we at?
We're at
Proverbs, the 8th chapter,
verse 9. Well, I'm gonna go back to verse 8 because it's leading to it.
Right?
All the words of my mouth are in righteousness.
All the words of a helpmate, of a Hebrew woman's mouth should be in righteousness.
There is nothing forward or perverse in them.
There's nothing forward or perverse in them.
They are all plain to him
They're all plain. You can understand it.
that understandeth, and write to them that find knowledge. Receive my instruction, and not silver, or thy knowledge rather than choice of gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared with it.
I think I need to clarify something for a minute. I just told a woman that if she's a righteous woman, she's striving for perfection, and her husband is foul and crooked and unevil, and he's evil, for her to go seek a divorce from him. Do you know why it's imperative that you seek a divorce from an evil man? Because you will die with him. Remember what I said to you. Your husband is the head. And anything that he gets from the Most High, it also comes upon you. If he's living in the ways of righteousness. But if he's living in the ways of evil, the same thing shall take place. So you can be living in righteousness all you want, and your husband is totally out of order, left field somewhere. Then you should flee from that situation. Now, I'm not one to teach of divorce. I'm not one to take divorce as an immediate option. So my course of action was that you bring him up before the elders, expose him so that they can help him, so they can make him a better man. Because if the elders have the opportunity and he's respectful, they can create a better atmosphere for your life, and you won't be killed or put to death because of the evil actions of your husband.
Okay.
This is a serious matter, and a lot of people don't understand it. If he refuses to heed the elders, then you ask the elders for a divorce so that you can go and be free. And when you go and you be free, return back to your father's house or someone on that order to be a covering for you. And I have to put it out here because a lot of people don't understand. But a man being a covering to you don't mean that that man is sexing you. Don't mean that that man has to marry you to be a covering for you. It only means that he has to be there for you emotionally, spiritually, financially, in every way possible to make sure that you're getting the things that you need to maintain a righteous lifestyle.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Yeah. What if the sister's first generation Hebrew, like she found out that she's an Israelite, and her whole family, father, mother, everybody, is not in this way?
You should come and sit over here for real.
Okay, absolutely.
Your questions be like profound.
Nah, man, don't. I'm weak, man. Don't do that. But listen, she's not. Her family's not an Israelite. They're not of Hebrew knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? And she came out into into this culture. But if she goes back to her family, which is still Americanized, European, nigger, excuse me, I didn't mean to, but they're just wild. She goes back there, she gets lost.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, it should be something set up in place, because I know, we have places available or have access to where she could stay or be with a family that shares the same values that she does. Because sometimes when a sister comes into the life, she goes back to her family, she's lost forever. You understand what I'm saying? And her only option may be to stay with that non-Hebrew that's abusive and maybe all the way funny business. Like I said before.
You just gave an answer for a conversation I had just yesterday about a sister who's sitting in that same situation, and I didn't hear that when she told me that, but she did tell me that that was a situation that she had. And you're absolutely right. And if she's on the line, I'll talk with her later. But if she's here, I'm going to offer her some assistance.
Right.
And see what we can do to help her.
But
you're absolutely right.
It can't be that 1990s elder assistance where the elder and the elder's friend wind up making the situation worse.
Right.
Because you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
We're not even going to speak on what happened in the Hebrew 90s, but I'm just saying you know what I'm talking about. A legitimate help for the sisters. Because sometimes when you try to help and you enter into something and you just make it worse if you're not righteous with the help. You know what I'm saying? Because the elder might think she's
I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I know exactly where you're going.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I stay out of Hebrew business. But
You're absolutely right.
yeah. But go back to
He's right. There's nothing we can say about it. So said the man who commits sin willingly.
Y'all not gonna paint this narrative, but you can, but you can't. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, are we still live?
Yeah.
Is it moving on your end too? Is it still live?
Mine is. How about you, John?
You still on? No, mine just went off. My phone is not. Let me get back to it.
Well, as far as mine, you still going.
You got a little bit more in Proverbs to read.
Okay, we're going. I'm at verse 12. You want me to go back to 11 and start at 12?
Yeah, 11.
Okay. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may not be desired are not to be compared with it. I wisdom dwell with prudence, and I find out knowledge of witty inventions.
Now remember what we said? This is a woman speaking. So she searches out knowledge with witty invention. She gets creative to find out the truth. She researches, she studies, she learns. She applies herself. So sisters, you have to ask yourself, am I that type of woman? Do I search diligently for the truth? And if I see the truth, will I accept it? Because a lot of people, the truth will be lying right before your face and you won't accept it. Because it doesn't agree with what you thought the way that it's supposed to go. Read on that.
The fear of the Elohim is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, the evil way.
That's the fear of the Most High. Now let's go on.
And
We're going to go, let's go down to Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, verse 31, verse 13. You can read from 13 all the way down to 23. Proverbs, the 13th chapter. Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, verse 13.
Third chapter, 13. Proverbs, 3rd chapter, verse 13.
Adiva, Shabbat Shalom.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Hold, what is wisdom?
Woman.
I just said that wisdom was that woman, right?
Yes, sir.
So happy is the man that findeth a wife. Isn't that what the scripture said?
That's what it says.
Happy is the man that findeth a wife. The Most High said, it's not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet to help him. Happy is the man who findeth a wife. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom. Let's see if this applies. If that woman, that wife, is that wisdom. Read on.
And the man that getteth understanding.
And the man that, so you don't just find that woman to bring you that pleasure on that mental and spiritual level. You also search for understanding. The Most High says if you search for it, you will find it. Read on. Let's see where they're going with us.
For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver.
Didn't they just say that a good woman is better than rubies and gold? Didn't it just say that?
Yes, it did.
So now he's saying the merchandise of that wisdom, that woman, when you get a good woman, is better than what?
Silver.
It's better than silver and gold. But she got to be right. She got to be right. Read on.
And the grain thereof of the fine gold, than fine gold.
She is more precious than rubies.
She is more precious than rubies.
When you get a good woman, it's better to have a great woman in your life than to be a rich man. You know why? Because you can be a rich man without a good woman, it would turn you to ruins. You know why it would turn you to ruins? Because your natural desires kick in to have a woman. And you'll end up committing all type of abominations trying to fulfill that desire. But let's say you ain't got those riches. And you got that great woman. That great woman can get you those riches in righteousness. She can help you to obtain that greatness. So you can have the great woman and get the great money, but it's very rare that you got that great money and going to get a good woman. Very rare. Not impossible, but very rare. You follow me?
It happened to you.
Yeah. Read on.
She is more precious than rubies.
She's more precious than rubies.
And the things that cannot desire.
And things that thou cannot desire.
And not to be compared unto her.
She's not to be compared to those things. She's above all that. You know, a lot of men, really, and my brother, Elquina, Shabbat Shalom, a lot of brothers are out searching for money. They fight to obtain it. What they should be searching for, what they should be desiring to obtain, is wisdom. What they should be searching for is knowledge and understanding. But very few men are searching for those things. Most of us are trying to line our pockets with some wealth so we can go out and trick some things. Rather than searching for that wisdom, preparing ourselves and our temples to be acceptable before the Almighty, searching how to please the great King. We're not searching for those things, most of us men. But that's what we should really be desiring. And then after you get in that personal relationship with the Creator and you get yourself in position financially where you got a place to offer a woman, you ain't got to be rich, but you got a place to offer her. You have some security to offer her. But before those physical things, you have to have the most important thing before you even think about bringing in a woman. And that is that spiritual covering for her.
Okay.
For if you don't know how to be a spiritual covering unto her, you're going to be an abomination. And you're going to end up destroying her. And then we're going to be 5 years later talking about Hebrew woman, where art thou? And it's going to be another Hebrew woman that's been destroyed by a man that did not know himself.
Okay.
So if you don't know yourself, how are you going to raise up the intellect of someone else?
Okay.
You can't.
Right.
You understand me? So men, we got to set our desires in the right place. That woman is a valuable treasure. And we have to understand that. We have to understand the value of a good helpmate. The quality of a good helpmate. She's not there just to meet your sexual pleasures. She's not there just to wash your clothes and clean your kitchen and mop your floors and raise your children. It goes beyond that. Because see, Adam didn't even have any children at the time.
Okay.
But he had to survive, right?
Yes, he did.
But the Creator gave him a helpmate that was meet for him.
Okay.
That was right for him.
Okay.
That was acceptable for him. You understand? A Nazar, a helpmate. Read on, please.
Length of days is in her right hand, and her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are of pleasantness.
Her ways are what?
Her ways are of pleasantness.
Sisters, ask yourself, is this talking about you? Are your ways of pleasantness? Is strength and honor in your hands, sis? Ask yourself this, because if you can't answer this honestly, then you're not that woman. And you got to strive to become that woman. And the only way that you can become this woman is by diligently searching out the truth of the Almighty, submitting yourself to His will, and living in your integrity as the days go on. Then you will have that ancient spirit return back into you, sisters, where you can be that woman that you're supposed to be. Right now, you're fighting so many things that have taken place in your life over the last 1,400 years that it's difficult for you to even see and fathom what I'm talking to you about. But this can be a reality. All the things that I'm mentioning can be a reality. But you got to want it. You got to go for it. You got to fight for it. Because it ain't going to come for free. And sometimes you got to make a sacrifice and keep your mouth shut. Stop talking and being so eager to want to talk all the time. And get your point across all the time. And stop trying to always stand your ground unless you're really being abused. Now, if you're really being abused, and you're really being downtrodden and stepped on and beat on and spit at and cussed out and starved, then yes, you speak up. But a lot of times the sister want to fight with you over the way you was at work for an extra hour at work. See, it's so hard for me to imagine something because I don't have this problem in my life. I don't have these issues. But sometimes these women want to fight with you over the simplest of things. And a lot of that is because she don't know herself. She don't know her strength.
Okay.
She doesn't know where her strength is in the fact of her being a woman. And a lot of women don't know their strength. Until the time comes that a woman gets to know her strength, she won't be good for nobody either.
Okay.
Read on that.
Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to them that lay hold upon her. And happy is everyone that retaineth her.
Happy is everybody. A woman should bring her husband pleasure. Should bring her husband joy and delight. You don't be, oh man, I gotta go home to this woman again. Oh man, I got off of work at 4 o'clock. It's now 7 o'clock. I ain't ready to go in the house yet. I'm gonna go to the bar on a Thursday night and get some sips.
Oh, wow. Yo.
Shots
This-
fired.
I ain't got nobody caught that. I thought I might have got over on that one. I thought I might have got past on that one.
Oh, man.
You come in the house
No more.
and you looking for some relaxation and some peace, and she want to argue and fight. Where you been? Well, damn, I was at the bar. I went to get something to drink. Well, it's Thursday night. You supposed to be in the Hebrew class.
Yo.
Yeah, Press.
Get him. He teaching now.
But I didn't feel like going to Hebrew class today. I wanted to take this one to the head. I worked hard all week. So I didn't feel like going to Hebrew class today. Well, it's now 11 o'clock at night. Where you coming from? Oh, I was at the bar. Well, I ain't cook you no dinner. And leave them smelly shoes on the porch. You know, that's not how. It's funny, but It is only funny if you've been with us the whole time and you understood the whole story. But the level of disrespect is severe when it comes to the mind of a wicked woman.
Okay.
Her man striving to live a righteous life and trying to apply the teachings that he learned in righteousness to her. Sisters, if you are not in harmony with your husband, it's a real problem. It's a real problem. You should be on the same page as your husband, striving for righteousness. These things are real. Some people are so far away from trying to be right before the Almighty that they can't imagine what I'm saying. They wouldn't be on these lines like this for 2 or 3 hours listening to these teachings. They wouldn't be here because it's not in them to do so. So y'all sisters that's been on this line all this time, I applaud you. I really do. I take my hat off to you. I ask the Most High to bless you and strengthen you because it takes a lot to be able to do what you've done in this period of time. Striving to hear the words of righteousness, trying to learn how to better yourself in your behavior, how to get closer to the Creator, the King of all creation. That's wonderful. A lot of sisters right now is out shopping somewhere or laying in some man's bed that they just met last night. This is a reality. While they got their children home hungry, while their moms is feeding their children or trying to feed their children from the scraps and the leftovers that she left from 2 weeks ago. This is a reality for a lot of people. And it all hits on different levels. Hebrew sister, where art thou? Read on that.
The Elohim by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge these depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discernment.
So what did you just say? Keep what?
Keep sound wisdom.
Only keep the good women. A woman with some sense. A woman that desires to draw closer to the Creator. He didn't say anything about her age. That wisdom ain't got to be old. That wisdom ain't got to be your age. That wisdom only got to be accountable. Which means it has to be sound wisdom. He said, keep it close to you. Don't take it for granted. Don't abuse it. Don't misuse it. Don't mistreat it. Understand what you have to do as a man, because the same elevation you're looking for from her is the same elevation you got to give to her. You got to demand something, but yet you got to give something in the same time.
Yeah.
Read on that.
So
Keep sound wisdom.
So thou shalt be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck.
She shall bring what?
Life to thy soul,
She shall
and grace
bring
to
life
thy
to your
neck.
soul. This is a powerful chapter. And you know, a lot of people read this and they never look at it the way that I'm looking at it right now. That this is what happens when a man finds his helpmate. A helpmate that is ordained by the Almighty to be just that. Read on that.
Then shalt thou walk in thine way safely, and thine foot shall not stumble.
When a man got a great wife, he can walk in his way safely, and his foot will not stumble, because you know why? If he stumbles, she's always there to ease his pain, to ease his mind, to speak comfortable words to him, to help him to elevate in the ways of righteousness. When you get a helpmate, when the Creator ordains a helpmate to you, she's not just here to cook, clean, and wash dishes. She's on a higher spiritual level where she helps you to obtain your vision. And when the world seems like they're against you, you won't dread going home to this type of woman. Read on that.
When thou layest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet.
Now, if you're not this kind of woman, you have to ask yourself, what kind of woman am I? You have to ask yourself that. And I want you to read Psalms 139 Psalms. Because a lot of people think that the Most High ain't watching. A lot of people think that the Most High isn't paying attention. A lot of people think that they can do what they want and get away from it because the Most High sleep as if he's on vacation. 139 Psalms, verse 1. A lot of people think that a lot of the evil that they do in life is going to go unbeknownst to the Most High. There's nothing you can do that the Most High can't see. There's nothing you can think that the Most High don't know. There's nowhere you can hide where the Most High is not there. Nowhere. That's not an excuse. That's right, Sister Royal. That's right.
139 verse 1.
139 Psalms, first verse.
O Elohim, thou hast searched me and known me.
Stop. I need you all to reflect upon this and put yourself in the position of the writer. All of you, male and female. Primarily, sisters, today's lesson is going out to you. But read on, please. Start again.
O Elohim, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my downsitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off.
He understands what?
Thy thought afar off.
He understands your thoughts from afar off. There's nowhere you can hide even your thoughts from the Creator. So if you are wicked inside of your thoughts, the Most High sees it. So this is why it's so important that you clean your essence. Clean your spirit. Walk in your integrity. That way even your thoughts will be purified. Read on, please.
Thou compassest my path and my lying down.
A lot of us refuse to clean our spirit. We think that as long as I don't act upon it, then it's acceptable. I can think what I want to think. And it's evil. It's called wickedness. The man who was a child molester, he thought as long as he didn't act on molesting children, that he was okay. But he's not. It's a disease, it's a sickness, and it needs to be destroyed on every level. It needs to be annihilated completely. Women who think about giving themselves to men just for the pleasure of giving it to him because he looked good, he smelled good, or he got a nice car. It's an abomination. Oh, I didn't do it, Prince. It's an abomination. If you're going to imagine something in your thoughts, imagine a righteous man. Imagine yourself obtaining him for all the right reasons. Read on, please.
Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquired with all my ways.
There's nothing that you can hide from the Creator. He knows your past, your lying downs, your goings ins, your goings out. He knows everything about you. There's nothing you can hide from him. Nothing.
Okay.
Read on.
For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, Elohim, thou knowest all together. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whether shall I go from the Spirit, or whether it shall flee from my presence? If I ascend up to the heavens, thou art there.
If you go into the heavens, the Creator is there, which means you go into your mind. He's there. Read on.
If I make bread in hell, behold, thou art there.
If you allow your evil mind to focus on wicked things, that's just like your mind being in hell. And guess who's there? He knows all your thoughts. Read on.
If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the utmost parts of the sea, even there shall be hand led me. You
can't go anywhere to escape the Almighty. Read on.
And thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day.
Stop. The darkness is your dark thoughts that you try to hide from the Creator. The light is when your Shabbat come around and you shine. You know, you singing and shouting and praising. That's the light, because you're putting on an illusion. You can see. But the nighttime and the darkness, you got these evil thoughts in your mind. Soon as the sun go down, you back to Jake again.
Okay.
You become Jake again. You're back in your evil ways again. But guess what? Both daylight and nighttime is the same to the Most High. He can see them both. Read on.
The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. for thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearful and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee.
Stop for a second. I want you now to go to Proverbs, the 14th chapter. There is nowhere you can go to hide from the Almighty, not even in your own thoughts, not even in your own mind. That's why a man or woman needs to walk in their integrity to be right before the Creator. You can't escape him no matter where you go. Shabbat shalom, Shatiel. May the Most High be with you, sis. Magdiya, Shabbat shalom. Read on up. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12.
Every wise woman buildeth her house, but a foolish plucketh it down with her hand.
Every wise woman buildeth her house. Tell us where you at.
I'm at Proverbs 14th chapter, verse 1.
Every wise woman buildeth a house, but the fool teareth it down. I want you to go down to verse 12.
Verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man,
There's a way that seemeth right to the man,
but the end thereof are the ways of death.
but the end of that way is the way of death.
Even in laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness.
All right, that's enough for that. I want you to pull Proverbs chapter 2, and I'm going to read something.
Proverbs chapter.
Many turn from righteousness, for their repentance falls short, and they settle for less than their standards of a man. And they give themselves to the first available man with these makeshift marriages, backyard marriages, done in the dark, and never honored nor respected by any. Stop giving yourself to these men that are not worthy. And whenever you take a husband, what should happen is it should be broadcast to the world that you're married. You should broadcast it that you're married. He should broadcast it that you're married, so no other man willingly comes and violates that sanctity between husband and wife. You want to say something about it?
In this digital age, it should be posted
All day long.
all day long. You shouldn't go on a page and you don't know who the Ish is or the Isha.
Can.
You understand what I'm saying?
Can.
I mean, and if we're gonna be on Facebook as Israelites,
Yeah.
you understand what
Then
I'm saying?
as soon as you do that, that should be blasted all on your page. You're right.
That's my opinion.
No, you're right. That's not opinion. You're right.
So, another brother being your DM, then it's you seen that this sister has a husband, and you still in her DMs, then we gotta rock.
Yeah. Then
You know what I'm
what
saying?
comes from that comes from that because you already know.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you get kicked in your chest,
You get kicked in your chest.
okay, or worse,
Yeah.
okay, just check.
Oh no, you're absolutely right.
All right, Proverbs chapter 2, please.
Proverbs chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so thou incline thine ear unto wisdom.
Now, I'm going to say that this way. My daughter, if thou wilt receive my words, incline thy ears to wisdom. Let's read Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4. Now remember, the Most High said, it's not good for man to be alone. So he gave him a helpmeet acceptable for him. Read on.
A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she has made it ashamed is as rottenness in his bones.
Now, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh the shame is a rottenness in his bones. You know why? Because she will destroy your life. She will steal your vitality from you. She will make you regret the moment you married her. But something will be happening where you cannot get away from her. You don't understand why. You want to leave, but you can't leave. Why? Because the Most High got his hands on you. The Most High is not allowing you to leave because he wants you to feel the wrath of disobedience, of disrespect. Sisters, it's not good to be that type of a woman because you're not a helpmeet for your husband. You know, a man can have a woman that is so destroyed for so long, he won't even realize that he's not living to his fullest potential with that woman in his life. He won't realize until after he leaves that woman and get to experience a good woman, and then he'll be able to grow and expand and move on. And Diddy, I see your question. I'm not going to forget you. Proverbs 31 and 1. I'll read it. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. All these things correlate to what I said when it's dealing with that wisdom character that is talking about a woman. Her price is far above rubies and gold. Proverbs 2 and 18. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead, when she's an evil woman. Proverbs 5 and 8. Remove thy way from her, and come not near the door of her house. What is that? That's when you tangled up with an evil woman who is not allowing you to achieve your mission in life. But yet she's a hindrance. She's in the way. Sisters, ask yourself, is this you? Because if this is you, then you got a lot to change. Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish woman plucketh it down with her own hands. The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and the stranger does not intermeddle with his joy. We're going to stop there, family. We're going to stop there. I do got a little bit more to read, but we're going to stop there. We've been doing this now for almost 2 hours. I want to address some of the questions in the room. So, family, if you got any questions, type it in the room. Im Yotze Yotze. We'll be able to address your questions. If it be the will of the Creator, we'll be able to address your questions. I have one question by Didi in the room. If a man has multiple wives, should he also post all his wives' name on his page? I'll put it to you like this, sis. He will be a weak man in the eyes of men for him to be out on his page posting the name of his wife all over his page. He'll be a weak man. Usually that's a man that's going through some kind of trauma in his life. Yeah. It's a man that's met with some kind of deficiency in his life. It's like he has to re-secure himself that he's the man and he wants the world to see that this is his woman. But is it really for him? Or is it really to impress her so that she is not angry with him? No, sis. If a man has multiple nashim, he don't ever have to put none of his nashim on his page. But if he's like doing something special and he want to take a picture and it's him and his wife, he can post it. He don't have to advertise, but he can post it. He can let it be known, or she can let it be known and attach him to it. And if he's ashamed of her, he ain't going to attach himself to that attach. He's going to either take it down, or he's just going to dislike it and keep it moving. But if he's pleased with her, as he should be, people will know that he has a wife just by going down his line. Because it will be things and situations that they've done that will be there. If it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 nashim, it doesn't matter.
Well, that brother got money.
Yeah. Oh, he better be in position to handle all that. That's right, Royal Zay. You're absolutely right. Shout out to y'all says, Okay?
It should be none. Nate said it should be none or all of them.
Okay. Very good, because you don't want to show favors
That's
from
exactly
one
what
to
he
the other.
just. That's exactly what
That's
he
correct.
said.
He's absolutely correct. Are there any other questions in the room? Are there any other questions? Y'all brothers ain't got anything to say?
Oh, I said everything else.
Okay. Said everything you got to say?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me see. That's right, sis. Adiva. A foolish woman tears down and a wise woman builds up her house or her husband. You're absolutely correct, sis. You're absolutely correct. Are there any other questions in the room? Now, what are we going to remember, family? We're going to remember that before we make prayer, we're going to wash our hands, wash our feet, go before the Almighty. We're going to remember that after we finish eating our food or drinking our drinks, we're going to thank the Most High for what He's given to us. We're going to remember that 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and before you go to bed, you make prayer.
Yeah.
You're going to remember that from Tuesday night at 12 o'clock to Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we fast and we restrain from food and drink for those who are strong. We got to do this together, family, for that's where we find our strength. Yeah, boy, you sharp, bro. You on point. Let me explain that to you. Nat Turner asked me, is there significance to me having one part of the corner of the flag turned down? Well, what this means, if it's up like this, bro, it means we're a nation. We only partly the way there of becoming a nation. We're not fully developed to nationhood yet. We're trying to get there. We're trying to get to that level of this. And right now, probably should be down here somewhere. Matter of fact, it probably should be across here. But I didn't want to show disrespect to the letter of Tetragrammaton of the Most High's name, the Tetragrammaton that we have here. I didn't want to show disrespect to that, so I just put it down slightly on the corner so we'll know that we haven't gotten to that level yet, fam. We got a lot of work to do to get to that level. All right? So one day, if you start seeing it here, it ain't going to be hanging up here on my wall. It's going to be flag hanging on a nation, on a capital, on the edge of our land somewhere. Maybe we'll put one up on Goshen somewhere. But you're right. You're right, bro. You sharp, boy. You sharp. And it's because we haven't obtained the right to be called a nation as of yet. We have no land. We have no government. We have no law. And we don't serve the Creator right. So we haven't obtained that yet.
We got law. We just don't follow.
So the woman should post who she's married to, but the man shouldn't. I didn't say he shouldn't. But she absolutely must let the world know she's married. The man, he can post it if he chooses to. But if I was a woman, I would make sure my name go on his page somewhere. So I would take videos or whatever we do, pictures, little smiley face, pictures. And I have my husband right next to me, and then I attach it to my page, and I put his name next to it, so he's standing there like this. I would do that if I was a woman. If I was a wife, that's how I would put it out. But I'm not a woman. I'm not a wife. So I got to do it this way.
Oh, man.
That's right. There you go, baby girl. It should be her honor to post him. It should be her honor to post him. And it's to be let the world know she is taken. A righteous man will post his wife because he knows it's the best thing to do. A righteous man, what you trying to say? Hey, Nat, you getting me in trouble, man. D, you getting me in trouble. Y'all starting trouble with me now, because I ain't about all that stuff. Every once in a while, I'll throw up something out of the kindness of my heart, because I have respect and adoration for the one, that I post up. So, I don't know about all that stuff talking about it's a righteous man will post his wife because he knows it's the best thing to do. And it ain't always the best thing to do. I know what she's talking about, trying to start trouble. It's like a woman. Just see, there she go. Just acting like that Hebrew woman. Where art thou? Do y'all have any questions? Are there any more questions now? If there's no more questions, we're going to close this thing out. But I really do. I thank you all for coming out today, for walking with us as we walk in the ways of the Almighty, for allowing us the opportunity to elevate your spirit and increase your portions of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As I always say, you should never come into a Shabbat service and leave the same way you were when you came in. You should always leave increased in your understanding. May the Most High be with you. Shabbat Shalom Lekim.
Shabbat Shalom.